Let's talk about something pressing, a developing story. Maybe it's been happening for a very long time, and maybe the authorities are trying to take actions on it. But in recent times, it's become very problematic and troubling. It's the Accra-Kumasi highway. Last week, Nana Tufo said something about traveling on the stretch with ideally is supposed to take a 4-hour journey, but it's moved from 4 hours to like 8 hours because of the deplorable nature of the road. So traveling from Accra to Kumasi, you would have to use
what? 4 hours to 8 hours?
Yes, because of the deplorable nature of the road. So you are battling with the Ofankor to Insawam highway.
Wow.
Which is actually in a deplorable state. Yeah, we've been seeing videos of that in recent times. Then you'd move to the stretch after Apedra. That one too is also another issue on its own. Before you move to places that are deplorable in between, that construction is also ongoing. On top of all that is the recent road crashes on the road that is really claiming life. So last week, for instance, June 26, a story broke out that a tragic head-on collision between VIP bus and a cargo truck had claimed multiple lives and left dozens of travelers hospitalized on the Accra-Kumasi highway. The accident occurred on Wednesday, June 25, near Oframase, if I got the name right, close to Nkoko in the Kwewu West municipality. According to initial reports, a VIP bus with registration number GR 2399 collided with an oncoming cargo truck loaded with flour. The impact on the crash resulted in several fatalities, with somebody's reportedly mutilated beyond recognition. So this is a very big problem. Then just yesterday, I saw on social media that another road crash or accident has happened on the road that claimed a life. So we are asking the question that what really is happening on this particular stretch? Are we going to sit down to see the road crashes happening and claiming lives, or what exactly are the authorities doing about it? A number of reasons have been given from other stakeholders that maybe people are speeding on the road, the deplorable nature of the road, doing overtaking at unauthorized places or places that ideally are not necessary, or necessary overtaking and all that, which is claiming lives. But then again, if the authorities are able to find a solution to this problem, i.e., you know that vehicles that are moving on the stretch, there can be police officers on the road, they can be stopped at every point to check whether people, just to check their speed.
Yes, and aside from the speed, Philip, most or some cars that go on long journeys in this country are not roadworthy. They have lots of issues. The cars are not in good conditions to even travel the journey they want to embark on. But you hear the drivers say that, oh, yanko ye drew kwan so ye bema ubia chekia mayana o me kwa basisi ana mababe, and then they risk the lives of the passengers they are carrying on board, as well as their lives inclusive.
Yeah, so...
And when something happens, you're calling on government. I mean, there's the issue, or there's a conversation of the nature of the road that we need to look at.
Well, the government have to play. That one, you can't take it away from it. Because I think the National Road Safety Authority has made mention of the fact that if the road is dualized, we wouldn't see much of these problems. So you have a vehicle, when you leave Apedra, from Apedra to Nkoko, the road is a single carriage road. So the head-on collision would definitely happen. But when you move from Nkoko to getting to Konongo, that stretch is a dual carriage road. So that one, you wouldn't have much problem like that. But the big question we're also asking is, if these are the things we are seeing in recent times, the road is claiming lives and people are dying on the stretch and all that, what has been done about the situation? Immediately.
Very well said, but as I said early on, the government has its role to play by fixing the roads or putting the roads in a good state. But we as travelers, or we as drivers, also have our own share or our part to play in this. As I said, some of the cars are not roadworthy. Meanwhile, they are as you rightly said, overtaking at unauthorized places where people are not supposed to overtake, in curves that they cannot even see what is ahead of them. You see a driver trying to overtake. Where are you in a rush to?
So there was an open letter that was written by Ras Bumbarak, a former member of parliament, who we all know when the incident happened last week, Wednesday, June 25. And he says that an open letter to the Roads and Highways Minister and other stakeholders involved. He says that a tragic road accident on the Accra-Kumasi highway near the Oframase on June 25, 2025, which claims several precious lives, is heart-wrenching. Reminder of the relentless carnage on Ghana's road. This is not an isolated incident, but part of the silent epidemic that claims over 2,000 lives annually and leaves countless others injured or bereaved. So you are going somewhere, a loved one is moving on this particular stretch, just to have told you that, oh, okay, when I get to Kumasi, I'll call you. Just to be told that this has happened. So he went on to say that on highways meant to symbolize progress have become death traps. I write to you as a steward of Ghana's transport sector to demand immediate and decisive action to halt the preventable loss of lives. So he went on to say that the Accra-Kumasi highway, one of Ghana's busiest corridor, is a notorious hotspot for fatal crashes. From April 2025, a Manasseh crash that claimed or killed 11 to September 2024, which happened along the stretch to also claim the lives of 7. The pattern is clear: systematic failure, predating your tenure. That is the current administration and all that. He went over to state something that could be addressed immediately. So he says, aggressive speeding enforcement. He's asking for the installation of speed cameras and mandatory GPS tracking on all public and commercial vehicles, as seen in Rwanda and Uganda, impose stiffer punishment starting from 600 Ghana cedis by way of fine, and also license suspension for all offenders exceeding 90 kilometers per hour on the highway. But that we cannot really instill it if we do not see the police on the stretch. You understand?
Yeah.
And he went on to say, that's Ras Mubarak, he went on to say that road infrastructure overhaul. The Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways must prioritize the upgrade of high-risk highways like Accra-Kumasi, fixing potholes, widening single carriage stretches, and installing clear signals and barriers. And also, he also spoke about the dual carriage expansion that are critical to reduce head-on collision. So when you talk about this particular issue of the potholes, you get to a part of the Accra-Kumasi, and you, the viewers, we'll give you the chance to also have a conversation on it. You can join us with your text and your submissions and comments via the text lines that have been displayed on the screen. So he spoke about the fact that, or on that particular stretch, you are driving and you get to a part of the road that you would have to rely on the side lanes. There is a name for it, because the middle lane is pothole ridden.
And for
and you can't drive on it.
Yes, and for someone who is probably a new driver, and you are not too familiar with the road,
you fall into the trap.
You're on a certain speed level, and then you meet.
But anyway, let's speak to the National Road Safety Authority. They are in charge of ensuring that our roads are safe. The Public Relations Officer is joining us via phone, Pearl Adisu Setekla. Good morning, madam. Hello, Pearl. Hello, Pearl.
Yeah, hello.
So can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome. You're live on Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne TV.
All right.
In recent times, have you heard of the crashes on the Accra-Kumasi highway? Last week, there was one. Just yesterday, we saw on social media that there's been another road accident. What have you picked from your end as the authority in charge of ensuring that our roads are safe?
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity, and greetings to all your cherished viewers and listeners. It is true, as you said earlier, that there has been consistent rapid crashes on the Accra-Kumasi road. which is very, very worrisome, and the nation as a whole, we need to stand up and do something about it. We've held a meeting as to why this thing is happening. So currently, the National Head Office, Eastern Region, and then Asante Region, we are coming together to come out with a very vigorous enforcement sensitization program on that stretch. That is what we are now planning to do.
With the sensitization program and all that, Pearl, I can tell you for a fact that we've had a lot of these things. We've seen them. Isn't there any way to get on the grounds for some sort of enforcement or implementation of what is already existing in the paper or on the table so that we can see a reduction in the numbers when it comes to the road accidents?
If you could remember, when the Stay Alive campaign was very vigorous and active, we registered consistent reduction in crashes on every stretch of road in the country. Now it seems that all the campaigns we do, National Road Safety, Ghana Police, NGOs, they are all down. And so the campaign is very necessary together with enforcement, because incorporated in the campaign is enforcement program as well. Now, we have come out with a technological or automated way of curbing road crashes in the country, which is led by Ghana Police, Traffic Tech Ghana, which is the bill that will review to incorporate the fees, fining, and other sanctions in it, is still at Parliament awaiting pass, because we couldn't pass it the last Parliament because of the things, the inconsistencies that happened during the latter part of the parliamentary sittings. That's why we couldn't pass it. If we had passed it, every work is already done, backroom program has been done, machines are in, we've trained people. We just have to just deploy. But because the bill is still in Parliament, we need to go on the ground, do enforcement with MTTD and then with National Road Safety, so that our visibility on the road will be seen there, so that it will deter recalcitrant drivers from doing what they do all the time. That causes the crash. So this is an interim program or intervention we are bringing. But the bigger one is the traffic tech, which will deploy cameras on our roads and will start sanctioning seriously recalcitrant drivers. That is what we are hoping to do. And also, we are registering transport operators throughout the country. We have not finished yet. When we finish that one, then we'll roll everybody on the Transport Ghana system, which is also a technological way of National Road Safety monitoring driving activities or transport services in the country. And a special monitor will be placed on the Kumasi Road. Before these technological interventions rolled out, we just have to go there ourselves and start the enforcement program as part of the Stay Alive campaign. This is the only way. If you don't enforce, people will be doing the wrong thing, and the moment you do wrong thing on the road, crashes will happen, and it will increase the numbers.
Right. Pearl, from where you sit as an authority, we understand that the campaign is very necessary. But then again, have we been able to do some surveys to ascertain what exactly is the cause of the crashes? Is it just the fault of the drivers driving inappropriately or doing some wrongdoings, or it is the state of the road, the deplorable nature of the roads? What exactly is the problem?
Basic reasons for that stretch recording so much crashes. One, the nature of that road. The nature of the road. A lot of vehicles ply that road from the south through to the north and even beyond the north to other countries. There are a lot of cargo cars, passenger vehicles plying that road now and then. So that particular stretch of road should have dualization. When we dualize that road, it will cut down drastically the continuous crashing. Because a lot of overtaking is done there. And because of the nature of the road, a lot of head-on collision is recorded there. Secondly, speeding. Speeding, when the vehicles get congestion at the southern side, when they get to that side that is a little free, they want to speed and make up the lost time. And these three things, the overtaking, the nature of the road, and speeding especially, if the speeding comes down a little, it will go a long way to salvage the situation. These three things are the main causes of the crashes that we have at that stretch, as our investigation tells us.
Right, you've mentioned some parts coming from the drivers as well as others being the state of the road. What is going to happen thereafter if all of these campaigns are put in place, the drivers are held accountable to make sure that they are not over speeding or making wrong turns and all of that? What are we doing about the state of the roads?
It is exactly because of this we have advocated over the years for dualized routes. And luckily for us, it has taken off. But I am not in the best position to say why work has halted at some sections or is slow at other sections. I can't tell. I'm not at the Ministry of Roads and Highways, so I don't know what the reason is for the slow pace of work or the halt of work at certain places. I just read in the news that because the government is owing contractors, that's why some of the routes are. But if it is the work will be expedited and there is the open up dualization across that state, I bet you will not record much of those routes. And then per our investigation, that's why we came up with the Transport Ghana and Traffic Ghana. We know, and from our knowledge per other countries, Traffic came to reduce drastically crashes of other places. And so that is the salvation or the saving intervention we are all waiting for. And we are hoping that now that the Okada review thing too has been put in the road traffic regulation, they will pass the bill so that every work that we've done underground will start deploying cameras and then start enjoying the benefits of the traffic intervention.
Right. So when these interventions are put in place, what is going to be the punishment for the offenders, those who are going to flout these rules or the laws? What will be their punishment?
One, various fines will be clapped on defaulters. That is why we sent it to Parliament to be reviewed. Various fines ranging from the extent of danger or that happens. So various fines. When you refuse to pay the fine, you will be processed to court because we have the numbers and details of car owners. A car owner will be taken to court, and then you produce the driver who was driving at the particular time an incident happened. You are taken to court. We are making sure that road safety courts will establish road safety courts within our court system so that those things will be a quick judgment will be given, not that we will be waiting for years, months, and other things. When these things also, we are not able to get you to court and you don't pay, when you get to DVLA, because the Traffic Ghana is linked to DVLA back office, when you get there and your number shows that you have contravened the traffic rules in the country but we couldn't get you, it means you have an updated license, upgradation of your license and all those things will stop you from driving. And so when these three things, Also, you are not, you still drive, then you are somebody. There is every way that we will use to stop you from driving, or send you to court, to imprison you, or fine you, or charge you, or a sport fine will be slapped on you.
Okay, we just hope that all what you said will be implemented when the education
We
starts.
will do, because the problem is that those working at DVLA, the police, and even road safety staff, who we are not exempted from the classes, we are not immune to classes.
Yeah.
We are all in this together. So I don't want to die. My boss doesn't want to die. Nobody wants to die, but it's still happening. So if we don't enforce it and we will do lip service, then it's up to us.
Sure. But do you have any data as to the number of lives we've lost on this stretch from the month of January till now?
Yeah, I have data, but as I told you, I'm in a serious meeting. I've gotten up to talk to you.
Okay.
And so after speaking to you, I'll forward it to the producer, so that maybe we'll talk on that another time.
So you don't have the numbers now off head?
I don't have it off head.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't have it off head, but I can assure you that from January to May, all the indicators, which is all crashes reported, vehicles involved, death, injuries, pedestrians knocked down, they've all increased, some significantly, some marginally. Every one of them, the 5 indicators, have all increased. By the highest is about 18%, and the lowest is about 2%, which is not a welcoming news to road safety promotion or development.
Is that to say that it's worsened this year?
It has worsened this year. Truth be said, it has worsened. It has not been like we had reduction at any month. All throughout the 5 months, we have May, January to May. All the indicators have risen or increased.
Anyway, Pearl, thank you so much for your time. Since you are in a meeting, we will leave you here so that you join the meeting. Pearl Adesu Setekla is the Public Relations Officer for the Ghana National Road Safety Authority, ensuring that at least our roads are safe, that we travel on the stretch every now and then and we are safe. But all of you out there, I'm sure that you have your thoughts about this road. If you are traveling on the Accra-Kumasi highway, are you scared? What are the things you are hearing about the road? Because for me, anytime I'm driving on the road, I had to play gospel in the car. Yes, because you just cannot risk your life.
But the gospel is not going to stop.
Oh no, but I have to put my life into the hands of God, officially. That is on a lighter note.
Yeah.
But when you have to be extra careful. But the question is, you are extra careful.
But
what of
there's
the
a
other one?
reckless driver out there who doesn't even care about you.
The person is not even bothered about the fact that he or she is doing some unnecessary overtaking. The person just would do it on a hill. You know, when you are driving, you are getting to a portion where it's hilly, you are not supposed to do overtaking because you can't see the vehicle ahead of you. Good. And people will be doing that. You see this Land Cruisers doing their own thing.
Especially for those who think they've been driving for quite a number of years. So they've mastered the art so well that, oh, I'm on top of my game. Meanwhile, you're being careful.
Yes.
And there's somebody out there who thinks that he's the king of the road. So he wants to just do whatever they want to do. I haven't plied the road so much. I think I went by road to Kumasi just once, and subsequently I've gone by flight, and this was maybe some 7 years ago.
Oh, that's long.
Yeah.
So you've not seen the state in it
of
now.
The road
well,
now.
Let's give our viewers a chance to see if they can call us well.
Right.
We can receive some calls and try and speak to the people who have been on the stretch for some time. The difficulties,
especially
they've
the businessmen and women who fly the road.
And
every
it's
now
not
and then.
everyone who would get the money to go by flight.
Yes.
And you would have to go
by road.
By
and
road.
To think the travel time has increased from a 4-hour journey to now 8 hours, that's alarming.
Yeah, when Anatufo spoke about it, that this road is becoming a notorious stretch. Trust me, there's a message.
Just before we go on to the messages, let me announce the phone lines.
Okay,
then we
do.
can read the messages while we wait for the calls to come in. So you can call us on the phone number on your screen, 0302 784 0302784 0302784 That's the call number. If you want to send us a WhatsApp message as well, you can do so via the WhatsApp number 020-444-7033 020-444-7033. Philip, we have some messages
and I'm
coming
sure
in.
the authorities are watching, or someone is telling them what really Ghanaians are saying about this road. So there is a message coming from Wachuku in the Ashanti region. He says that I have driven on the Accra-Kumasi road on a few occasions. No need to tell you that is due to reckless driving. The recklessness by drivers, both commercial and private, on the road is too scary. And coming from Wachuku. Another message too, coming from Nana Kwesi Ridge in Accra, says that I love your discussion this morning. This is my take. In my opinion, most accidents that occur on our roads could be attributed to reckless driving and speeding. Lots of drivers do not care about their life or their own lives, let alone others. When they misbehave behind the wheels and passengers speak against them, they become offended. How many accidents haven't occurred since in Sawam to Suhum became a dual carriage road? And that is a very big thumbs up to the government for dualizing that particular stretch. Lots of them. Since it tells us all that most accidents are not as a result of recklessness. So it tells us that most of the accidents are not as a result of recklessness. We live in a country where paying one cedi 50 pesos?
1,500.
Okay. Could get 2 years old driver's license, even as a new driver. I don't know what he really he means by that.
Maybe he needs to give us some clarity on that.
Yes. So maybe you pay for the driver's license. That is what he's trying to say. Most drivers are not good in the skill, yet they are driving on the highway. This is coming from Nana Kwesi Ridge. But I think that in as much as people are having issues and all that, drivers driving on these roads and all that, we the drivers, or you a passenger, or the driver, let me put it that way, would have to take the security into your own hands and ensure that at least the right thing is done on the road. If not, it becomes a very big problem.
Yes, you know, Philip, Nana Kwesi mentioned something in his in the message he sent. But just before I touch on that, let's speak to a caller from Ashaiman. Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Your name? You're calling from Ashaiman. What's your name?
My name is Richard.
Richard, let's hear you. Have you plied the Accra-Kumasi highway in recent times?
Yes.
What has been your experience, or how long ago was this?
So,
Richard, kindly speak up for us.
okay, last Wednesday I was traveling from Sunyani to Accra.
Okay.
Hello,
Richard. We
your
can
line
barely
is-
hear you. Your connection is bad. Could you reposition yourself?
ramp signs. So the ramp ahead, before you realize, you jump. And then secondly, there are these trucks who carry tomatoes. I don't know where they're coming from. So sometimes they realize, I think their time is far against them. So they unnecessarily overtake. Before you realize, they've shown their highlights. And you even can't see with your light ahead. So I think the road authority needs to be careful about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us, Richard. So, Philip, just before we spoke to Richard, I was going to comment on a statement Nana Kwesi made. He says, how many accidents haven't occurred since in Sawam to Suhum became a dual carriage? Now, I mentioned earlier on that sometimes, as we are sitting in this chair calling for the authorities to do the right thing, to put our roads in a better shape, the onus lies on you and I, being the driver, the passenger who is on the bus traveling, whether from Accra to Kumasi, Circle to Medina to wherever. The onus lies on you as well. Call the driver's attention. If they are not driving right, if you meet a police barrier or you see a police officer, report them.
And you think that after reporting, the driver wouldn't eject you from the car? Anyway,
you get another car and continue your journey.
You think it's easy? Teddy, good morning. What do you have for us on the Accra-Kumasi conversation?
Anyway, good morning. With Accra-Kumasi Road, I think the roads are also a factor. Yeah, the roads are very terrible. Let's say if a driver is driving from Accra to Kumasi, let's say Amasama to Nsawam stretch. Let's say you have a ball joint that gets losing. When you get to the main road, you feel like you want to speed, and if that thing goes off, what happens? So I think we need to fix the roads. The roads are also a factor in this accident. So the government should quickly, especially Accra to, let's say from Amasama to Nsawam, it's very terrible. And people use their cars on these roads daily. We are being chased to pay roadworthy every year, but the roads are not worthy of our cars. So please, the government should also fix the roads so that we can all stay alive. Thank you.
Beautiful one, Teddy. So Teddy is also talking about the fixing of the roads. I think that, like what Nana Kwesi also indicated, I don't know, if you drive on the road and you move from Nkoko to Konongo, because it's a dual carriage road, the oncoming vehicles have their lane. Vehicles heading towards Kumasi also have their lane. So it makes it very easy for you to overtake when a vehicle is ahead of you and
Philip,
it's not moving fast.
Hold your thoughts on that. We have a caller from Kaswa. Hi, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us on Breakfast Daily. What's your name?
My name is Jeff, calling from Kaswa.
Jeff, have you applied the Accra-Kumasi road in recent times?
Yes, I went to that stretch, I think that was last month.
Oh, great. Share with us, what is the state of the road?
I think drivers, we are our own killers. We have this kind of hardened hearts that when someone makes a mistake, we refuse to correct them by letting them come in the right lane again. Okay, you have made a mistake, so go and die. I think that's one thing that is killing drivers. Because if someone makes a mistake, you have the right to correct the person. And most of these accidents are due to those incidents. You see a driver that has come up the road, he's trying to come in, and you are speeding up, so he will hit the other car coming on the other end. These are things that drivers should be educated on. We have to have courtesy for each other. I think every accident is caused by a professional driver. So we should educate each other about how to save each other's lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Philip, so, I mean, some people are calling out saying that it's the state of the road. Others are blaming the drivers. I think it's a two-way affair. Because if the roads are fixed or the roads are in a better shape and we still see driver indiscipline, people driving anyhow, committing road offenses and thinking that they can get away with it because nobody is watching, they are not being penalized for any wrong they are doing on the road, they can just throw their hands off at another driver who is calling out for their head or trying to put them in their place on the road, and then they get away with it. They'll go and be like, oh, may I wake out on this road?
Nothing happened
you
to
know,
me, yeah.
People overspeed. Somebody will be boasting, saying that Accra-Kumasi, just as you said, before it was 4 hours. I can take 2 hours on that road.
To the destination.
You know, and you are proud of it.
Lumina from Nkoko, good morning.
Hello.
Lumina from Nkoko, good morning.
Good morning.
What do you have for us on the road?
The problem in Nkoko is it is not about the road. When it's the side that they're talking about,
your light keeps breaking. If you can get
drivers are just last week Friday, I was knocked down carelessly by a driver. I went off, the driver speed off and left me there to die. I wasn't on top speed. The driver wrongly took a particular direction and kicked me off. And that is what is happening. You will see these sprinter drivers trying to do overtaking. You will see this metro bus trying to do overtaking. You will see this tipper trying to do overtaking. Last, there was an accident at something involving a bus, a VIP bus, and then a tipper truck. The VIP bus didn't see that there were other cars that were overtaking following the tipper truck. So there is no truck part went back onto the road and caused a lot of accidents. more than 80 people died on that day. So the problem is not about our road. People just prefer to sit on the road, show how good they are and drive, and show how brave they are on the road. Because if you want to talk about dual road, look at the Bakatanga, the Tamale Bakatanga road. It's not a dual road. Do we have such accidents there? Why is it happening here? Somebody might say because the number of cars that are passing are many, but that is not the case. As a driver, you need to know that you are dealing with people's lives. We are just so careless in this country. Nobody is being held responsible for it, and that's our problem.
Okay, Lumina, thank you so much for your time, and we could sense the frustration in there that she has witnessed it because she resides at Nkoko, so that is actually the middle point between Accra and Kumasi. So she has seen a lot of these things, and she's saying that not really the fault of the road, that we have a deplorable road, but then again how people drive on the stretch. And I think
most times the drivers who most times, because what they'll boast to their friends at the station, the roadmaster may kwaba sisia 2 hours me the AccraKumasi aba.
Issa from Wa. Issa, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you too?
I'm doing great.
Let's hear from you. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I also want to contribute to my quota to this issue we are discussing about our road accident. Yeah. Actually, the fact of the matter is, you see, in Ghana here, I want you people, if you can assist the roads, the institution who is in charge of this road issue, like the PRO who spoke some 2 minutes ago. You see, there's an issue nobody is talking about. I'm a driver, about 35 years experience on that Accra road. Since 1985 until date, I've been driving on that road.
35 years?
35 years.
Wow.
I've been driving on that road. You understand? So, the fact of the matter is, you see a lot of cars today on our road. People have their money to buy their cars and drive them because they own the money and they own the cars, but not because they are drivers.
Right.
You understand? So, nobody is talking about that. And they don't know. There are some people, they drive. His speed limit can never be more than 80, but he can never be more than 80, but he wants to go beyond 100. And go and tell friends that, oh, my car can run. But the experience for the 100 kilometers per hour, he doesn't have it. This is another serious thing in the system that we are facing. That is why you see most of these heavy trucks, the drivers are very extra careful. Me, I've been a transit driver. Within West Africa here, it's only 30% I do not drive to. You understand? So I have been in the system and I know what is going on there. Somebody will come and your car will be parked. Somebody will come and hit your car. Off road, you will still come and hit and ask you, I don't know what the park your car. And go and bring police and want the police to favor him because you are a big truck. And no driver, no professional driver want to have an accident. And then lastly, you see the Accra-Kumasi road. After 1985 to date, the number from 1985 to 2000 has doubled. The cars that apply that road has doubled over 400%.
Wow.
Has doubled over 400% with the same road. With the same road that will be using since Ghana became Ghana on that same road. So it's a matter of urgency for the government to look at that one also. Look at the Nkoko bypass. The dualized plate. It's difficult to see accidents there. Any accident you will see is a one-man accident. You will not see cars colliding, or especially on the motorway. You will not see cars colliding. You see, that is another thing. Go to the driving training school. Ask them how many drivers do they train and get a data nationwide, and come back and see DDLA how many licenses do they deliver within a period. it won't pay. It will not pay. So people drive because they own their cars, not because they know how to drive, and they want to use the road.
Okay, thank you so much, Isa. Yeah.
Yeah, and then lastly, the heavy trucks also, because this agile weight system has put in place to tax overloading, the owners and the importers are doing their own thing, which nobody can. This current minister was on Accra-Kumasi Road, or where was it, and arrested a driver, which car supposed to be 3 axles, but meanwhile it was 7 axles. 7 axles on the car, which wasn't right. The engine capacity is not up to that. So how can that engine run that goods over 70 tons in it?
Okay, Isa, thank you so much.
The road in addition.
Right.
Isa, thank you so much.
That was Isa also sharing his submissions. And I like all the pointers that he made mention of, especially coming from the fact that he's been driving for the past 35 years. That's
so he's
such
seen
a long
lot on the
time.
road.
Yes, that's such a long time to have experienced all the good and the bad on the road. But if you're just joining us, we are having a conversation about the state of the Accra-Kumasi highway. There's been lots of accidents happening or being recorded on the stretch lately. So share with us your thoughts and comments. You can send us a WhatsApp message on the WhatsApp number 020-444-7033. Join us. Let's have a conversation. You can also log on to our socials and then drop a message, especially on YouTube. Stream the live and then drop a message in the comment section, and we would love to read your messages here.
Issa made mention of the fact that the number of vehicles driving on the stretch in the 90s till 2000 has quadrupled.
Of course, Philip.
400%.
It will.
Anyway.
We have a caller from
Kumasi.
Yes, Master Abu. Master Abu, good morning.
Good morning, my beautiful sister.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you also.
Right, share with us, how long have you been driving for, and how often do you ply the Accra-Kumasi highway?
I think I acquired my license in 2004.
Okay, and how often do you ply the road, the Accra-Kumasi highway?
I was on the road, I think this Saturday.
Okay.
I came to Bunsu, the Eco Park. I brought some students there.
Right. So from your experience over the years up until last Saturday when you used the road, where do you think the issue is coming from? Is it as a result of drivers' recklessness and carelessness on the road, or it is as a result of the state of our roads?
You see, my view is, you can't expect your children to do well in school while you are not providing them the necessary materials that they may need in school to perform, and you're expecting them to do well. As much as we are blaming the drivers, that one is a fact. But the main problem is dualization of the route, because where the road is double, you will see so much accidents, and even if the accident happens, the impact is not that heavy, or you will see the fatalities. The fatality will be very low when the road is dualized. But if you check all the accidents that happens, majority of the accidents is head-on collision. If you check the statistics, you will see head-on collision is leading the major accidents on our major roads, and 2 roads leading, Kumasi Accra and Accra-Kumasi, and they are the 2 busy roads that we have in this country. So our leaders, I don't know what they are thinking. Everything is book, but this is common sense. When the road is dualized, you will see head-on collision, and head-on collision is the leading this thing on our roads. So why don't we dualize the road? After dualization, then we come to this book that we have to educate the drivers. We have to do this, we have to do that. Somebody mentioned Boliga Tamale Road. There are not many there. The cars are very few over there. So you see so much accident. But AccraKumasi is too busy to be a single lane. We are not serious as a country. As I'm telling you, I'm a driver myself. So you can you can experience it from my English, the way I speak my English. I'm a driver, and I've been driving for the past 20 plus years. And this is what I've experienced. The road should be dualized. That's all.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing your concerns and your thoughts with us as well on the show. We appreciate you.
You're welcome, madam.
Okay.
Right,
So,
Philip, we
Jifa,
have some messages coming in.
Before that, like what Isha was saying, that now the number has quadrupled, moved from 100% to like 400%.
Yes.
And if you are having a room that is now taking a lot more people, say
there's a lot of pressure on the road.
So the room was made for 5 people, and now you have about 150 people in that same room. There's a problem.
Yeah.
So that is how come the call has been on dualization of the stretch. If we are not doing it now, the problem is going to persist. So if there are projects that are supposed to be pushed to ensure that this road is dualized immediately, because see, if we do not do it, we'll be seeing the numbers increase on the road by way of the drivers, and the accidents will be happening every now and then. So if you are...
Interestingly, when we spoke to Pearl Adusu a while ago, she mentioned that looking at the data that she has, even though she didn't give us specific numbers, but the rate of accidents and happenings on the road this year alone has increased.
Shut up.
Has increased, and it's alarming. We need to take these things very seriously. And Philip, just to also add, in as much as we are calling for the duty bearers to play their part, calling on
drive with care,
to dualize the road and all that, we should also do our part. Drive with care, because believe you me, whether the road has 4 lanes, 20 lanes, 50, or even 100 lanes, if we are still driving recklessly, if you're seeing drivers drive recklessly, do wrong overtakings and whatnot, we will still see accidents happening.
On the road.
Anyway, we have some messages coming in. This one says, good morning. I think there should be more police checkpoints on the road. This one also says, my name is Kenneth from the States. I apply this route to my site almost every day. I don't think you should blame the drivers. Rather, I think the agency that is supposed to be supervising the construction of this road is to blame, forcing the contractor to enforce their part of the contract by using grader machines to level the road at least once a week to make the road more trouble. That's all. I don't think we are asking for too much until they finish the asphalt. That's the way it's done on other parts of the world. So until that is done, you can't blame the drivers. Cars are breaking down every day. It doesn't cost a lot for the government agencies to enforce the law. This one also says, good morning. Please, most of the road accidents occur as a result of drivers' carelessness. So various concerns coming in there. There's another one also from Mark, who is in Tesano, saying, in my opinion, all accidents are as a result of reckless driving and nothing else. If the roads become better, drivers will do worse. Speed above their limits. Some drivers feel it's right to drive while talking on phone. I once saw a driver calling or chatting on WhatsApp while driving at 90 kilometers per hour. That's dangerous. How? The onus lies on the authorities to clamp down on drivers who flout road traffic regulations. There's also another one from Sam Kelly from East Legon Hills. He says...
Talking about language.
Yes.
But read it out, let's see.
Okay, he says, thanks for the good works you are doing for Mother Ghana. I think it will do a lot of good for your viewers and the listeners if they resist the temptation of intermittently speaking a particular Ghanaian language on a program that is clearly an English one. A caller may be pardoned when that happens, but not... All right, that's fine. Clearly understood. Okay, there's another one also saying, each time we hear interventions and dialogues with the government and other stakeholders, yet nothing is being implemented. We keep losing lives each day, and every single time there is an accident, we are tired of the talks. All we need is double road, speed limit at dangerous points, imprisonment or fine of violations. There would always be dangerous accidents using using a single lane. And this from Lloyd from Spintex.
Anyway, so
thank you all so much to those who called in as well as those who sent in your messages. But you can keep the conversation going on our socials as well. ChannelOne TVGH, do interact with us and then share our content. Philip.
Yeah. From what we are seeing, it's just clear that you would have to be careful on our roads when you are driving, and also the duty bearers, please. If it's urgent that you would have to dualize the stretch, it's taking a long time for the stretch to be dualized. We know you are doing your part from Ofankor to Sawam and also through to Suhum to Apedja. From Apedja, thereabout to Nkoko is the problem, and also from around Konongo area to some part before you get to Kumasi is also another problem. So if the contractors are on, we know the roads minister has said that there isn't much funds, but maybe it should be expedited. Other roads too, the what's the name? The lanes that are being constructed to be alternatives for the major road too should also be fixed and all that. So that at least when someone is traveling on the road, the person is safe, that I know I will travel and come back in peace.
All right.